All right, good evening. We're going to talk a little bit today about the incumbency effect. I'm going to attempt to talk better into the microphone um, and see if this works, and a lot of my quirky, stupid noises will not be as noticeable. All right, so we're going to talk about today's the incumbency effect, which, as you know, an incumbent is somebody that's already in office, and it is actually the number one word used on all AP exams. So you will see a question on this for sure. All right. Now, the incumbency effect, as you see, is the tendency of those already holding office to win re-election. So if you're the incumbent, the person that's currently in Congress, so for you all, it's Brad Schneider, Randy Hultgren, Dick Durbin, Mark Kirk, right? They are more likely to win re-election than the challengers, right? It is much stronger in the House than it is in the Senate. And we're going to give you 6 or 7 contributors to that. All right. First is name recognition, probably for the most significant. All right. Voters are much more likely to recognize the office holder than the challenger, and it's the name, not so much the person. All right. The person you're looking at here is Dennis Anderson. Now, he ran in the 14th district, where some of you live, against Randy Hultgren, and was beat pretty handily in that election for a lot of reasons, but most of all, people didn't know his name in that election. Okay. Now, credit claiming, something you read about last night with David Mayhew, where the office holder will claim about projects they've brought back to the district. All right, we call this pork barrel spending. And this is where you'll bring back projects and infrastructure, roads, money like that that's thrown into bills that's designed to only help your district. And they call it pork barrel spending because you're bringing home the bacon for your district. All right, so credit claiming is number 2. Look what I did, vote for me. Challengers can't do that. All right, our third one is casework. All right, and as you know, with the bureaucracy, the word we usually associate with bureaucracy is red tape, and it is slow, it is inefficient. Okay, so when you can't figure out how to fill out your FAFSA forms, or you're not sure about getting your passport, you contact your congressman, and they will specifically address your problem. And help you deal with that. Veterans getting their medication or VA benefits, things like that. Challengers can't do that because they don't have access to that. So even though it's not the congressman that's doing this, it's somebody in their office, they help them deal with that bureaucratic problem, and then people say, well, that person helped me, so I'm more likely to vote for him. When you go to Washington, if you want to tour the Capitol, you have to go to your congressman. So he may not be the same party as you, but he helped you get to the White House, so hey, I'm going to vote for the guy because he helped me out. I know a person who went to the tour of the White House, and when Melissa Bean was our representative, and this person said, I don't care what party Melissa Bean's with, she got me into the White House, she's got my vote. The next one is visibility. Right? Congressmen are much more visible to their constituents through something called the franking privilege. Okay? A frank is basically your signature that you can use as postage to send mail to your constituents. Now, this is not campaign literature, all right? But this is when you want to communicate with your constituents about an issue. You put your frank on there, your signature, and then that gets sent to them. Not free of charge, you still have to pay for it, but the government does pick up the tab. You just cannot send that out 30 days before a primary election and 60 days before a general election. All right, and let me show you an example of that. All right, here's Mark Kirk's Family Focus. This is what he sent to me in 2007. Notice it's called Family Focus because obviously I would be on his list for family issues. All right, and he's not campaigning, not telling me about the job, but here he is with a list of all the banned toys back in 07 from the imported toys, lead-based paints and things like that. So you see Tickle Me Elmo and Snoring Ernie and Dora the Explorer, and constituents would look at this and say, wow, Mark Kirk is keeping my kids safe. And his challenger can't do that, so he's getting some name recognition. He's given us able to tout some of his accomplishments, and going to generate some votes that way. All right, so that's the franking privilege. All right, and then if you can look on this one, see if I can change the size of it here at all. Let's do this. All right, not working. Okay, I gotta try and make this a little smaller. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is the same letter that he sent me at home. Up here where the postage would go, there's the stamp for Mark Kirk. So that is his frank, or his signature. All right, and then his office is built for that, just a convenience or privilege members of Congress have. But look over here. All right, how may we help you? To help with federal issues, Medicare, Social Security benefits, contact the Northbrook office. So he has a specific line that is dealt for, made to handle complaints from constituents with the bureaucracy. So this is called casework. All right, so there's a perfect example. And then you see the different offices here as well. So something he can do that his challengers cannot. Now, this is from when Kirk was a representative, not a senator. Keep that in mind, okay? But a definite perk that, that they have. All right, next one is media exposure. Incumbents are going to get free publicity through the media. All right, anytime they talk, they make a speech on C-SPAN, or they do an interview on the news, they're going to get coverage. This obviously helps senators more than it helps representatives, but it's a definite advantage with the free media. All right, fundraising abilities. All right, we're going to see this today, or you saw this today in class more than likely. Incumbents generate a ton of money from what are called PACs, or political action committees. And the theory is they're already in office. Why shouldn't I donate to them? Because they're, I already have access to them. I know who they are, so they're going to generate a lot of money. And challengers can get very little money from PACs because why do you want to take that risk and donate to somebody who has very little chance of winning? All right, so you'll see incumbents out-generate challengers by a ton of money. All right, experience. If you're an incumbent, you have a campaign staff, you have workers that have already been in place, you have your signs designed, you have your headquarters, so they know how to campaign and have their network in place. Challengers have to work much harder for that. Okay, voting record. This can work against incumbents also, but mostly for them. The voters evaluate you based on your record. Look what you're able to do. We've seen what you voted on. All right, we know their position. You're not kind of that unknown candidate. But sometimes you have to take a very controversial vote like Melissa Bean did for the health care bill. That's a big reason why she lost to Joe Walsh, because she took a position on a very controversial issue, and her constituents voted her out because of it. And our final reason for the incumbency effect is gerrymandering. And this is where the state legislatures redistrict to favor incumbents of their own party. So the gerrymandering or the redistricting takes place at the state legislature level. Every 10 years this just happened, and it happened right smack in the middle of Mundelein. And they're going to try and draw the line so they can get as many Democrats elected as they can to help them at the national level. So this is one of the more controversial districts. It's called the earmuff district. You can kind of see one earmuff, there's the other one, and there's the little handlebar for the earmuffs, if you look at it sideways. And this district is drawn, it literally is the length of Highway 294 right here. All right, if you live over here, you're in one district. You live here, you're in a different district, but this highway is in a district here. And Representative Gutierrez is the representative for this district. So I think you can figure out what their goal was here. All right, take a large Hispanic community here, large Hispanic community here, put them into one district, ensure that a Democratic and Hispanic representative would get reelected or get elected. That's one way we gerrymander. Other times it's for parties. Sometimes it might be to punish someone. Maybe we don't like a candidate, so we're going to draw a district where his house is not even in the district. So redistricting is pretty crucial. And probably the number one reason, other than name recognition, how our incumbents continue to get reelected. Okay, so that just gives you a little clip there of the incumbency effect. You want to be familiar with this. Don't have to know them all, but I would at least know 3 reasons that contribute to that. Got to know 3 of whatever list I give you. So go through your notes right now. Pick the 3 you're most likely to remember, jot them down, and you're good to go. Okay, so you understand the incumbency effect. Have a great night. We'll talk in class tomorrow.